Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom and I have just survived. Millwall 1, Cardiff 1. Both clubs have a certain reputation, but it was a very fun night and a very good spirited night. Game obviously ending in a draw. Millwall made 3 changes. I've been at their last 3 games, so 3 changes from the side that won 2-0 impressively at Reading on Saturday. Archer in goal. Meredith left back. Romeo, the goal scorer on Saturday, stays in the team at right back. It's Cooper and Hutchinson are the centre backs. Wallace down the right of midfield. Saville is joined by Tunnicliffe in centre midfield, not Williams. Marshall, I believe that's his debut. I think he's borrowed from Wolves. He played down the left of midfield. And the front 2 stays the same, the quality front 2, Morrison and Gregory. Cardiff, I haven't seen for a while. Also, I saw them play against Reading and get a 2-2 draw. They've strengthened quite a bit in the January transfer window. They had Etheridge in goal, Manga at right back, Bennett came back in at left back, Morrison and Bamba, that good central defensive partnership. Now, I expected it to be 4-2-3-1, but it wasn't really. You had Grujic, who is on loan from Liverpool, kind of sat behind Ralls and Patterson, so it's more 4-3-3 today from Warnock. Hoylett off the left, inverse winger, he's going to come in on his right. Mendez-Laing down the right. And Gary Medine, who they've invested in, I think, apparently £6 to £8 million. So Cardiff in 4th place. They've got game in hand on everyone, but they're a few goals back from Derby in 2nd. So good chance for them to play on Friday and put 3 points on and put a bit of pressure on while they're chasing with that game in hand. Millwall 14th, obviously. They're below Norwich and my team, Ipswich, so they would have wanted to put 3 on to chase Norwich and Ipswich there and push towards the top half of the table. Now, Romeo, who came in, had a very interesting first few minutes and kind of set the narrative for the first half. Literally the first tackle of the game. He takes out Hoylett on the side and the ref goes straight for the yellow card, which is always an interesting one first thing in a game, because it kind of, you can really stitch up a fullback there, any kind of defender really. So I think this may have played into what happened in the 3rd minute, because I don't know whether Romeo had it in his head, but Hoylett robs Romeo. He's in the left wing spot. He's going to drive forward. He's going to come in towards the middle of the goal. Mendez-Laing is in on the right hand side, but Hoylett takes on the shot from about 25 yards. Archer is well positioned in goal, but Hoylett's a great shot. He puts it right in the corner and gives gives Cardiff, the lead after only 3 minutes to kind of put the kibosh on the on that great Millwall atmosphere that they get. They're a bit of a naughty goal celebration, you know, run back towards your own fans maybe. So bad start by Romeo down the right. So and Cardiff into a nice early lead. The next 10 minutes is very sort of frenetic. I mean, we know Millwall like the press. They've got good players up front. We know Warnock likes that ball forward from throw-ins and free kicks and everything. So that's how it played out. And it started off a pattern of what was very much, let's get the attackers up against the defenders and the midfielders can just kind of sweep up behind them, so to speak. That was going to be the pattern of this game. 14th minute, Hoylett brings down Meredith. Free kick in a good spot there, wasted by Wallace. From that moment on, Marshall actually went on to free kicks. Cardiff had a real good build up of pressure on about 17. Lots of good quality going into the box from Bennett and Mendez-Laing, and then corners from Ralls and Hoylett. All 4 corners actually forced in one go, all going in with good quality. A couple of last ditch clearances, and Archer looking a bit shaky in the goal there. On the 4th one, comes out to Mendez-Laing and he smashes it over. Work down the left, Marshall, nice swinging cross. Now Bamba gets totally sucked underneath it and Morrison's clever. He sees that Bamba's out of the game, so he chests it down instead of heading for goal. Comes in on his left foot, takes the volley. Etheridge is properly beaten. Left foot volley by Morrison, and it hits the crossbar for the best chance for Millwall. Good effort by Morrison, and the first signs that Gregory and Morrison were getting under Bamba's skin. Normally I'd really rate Bamba and Morrison as a centre-half partnership, but today was a difficult game for them. Marshall's turn to waste a free kick now. This time he shoots it over. Romeo still hasn't settled into the game on 25. Scruffy again at the back. Hoylett gets on the ball, 25 yards out, curls it. Didn't look that close, but Hoylett's reaction might have said it was a little bit closer than I thought. Thundering challenge from Hutchison. Goes out wide, crossed into Morrison. He tries the first time straight at Etheridge. And then an even better chance like a minute later for Morrison. He eats up a mistake. He's going to move forward at goal, and he tries to do that clever thing where as you're running you use the defender as a screen in front of the goalkeeper, just toe poke around with no backlift. He didn't get enough power on it. Be Romario's shot for those of you old enough to remember. But Millwall come into it now, as you can see by the chances. They're playing their normal game. They're getting it forward. They've got the power of Morrison and the pace and the kind of skullduggery of Gregory up there. And Cardiff's defence don't really like this. It's a flick on from the long ball again. Gregory picks it up. Great forward play by this. He works it from left to right, round the two centre-halves, makes space for the shot, hits it right-footed. Good effort, not far wide that one at all. Etheridge full dive there, and quite well deserved. I think you'll be able to tell from the comments that I've written down in my book. On 39 minutes, Millwall get the equaliser. They do such a good job, Millwall, when they're playing well in keeping the pace up. When the ball goes out for a throw, they take it really quickly. They really just push on, and you know it's like they've got their foot on your neck, and they won't let you up. Do you know what I mean? So Morrison keeps it all going, ticking over. It goes down the right hand side to Wallace, and this is very similar to the second goal Millwall scored at Reading. They kind of cross it early into an area for Gregory to run onto. They know he's going to make the run. Wallace slides it in, lovely. Now you can see Gregory as he's running onto it, he's thinking, right, I'm going to get there first, which he does. He uses his pace and just get a really good contact. He gets a great contact on it. He smashes it. It's not really in either the corners, it's not in the roof of the net, but he hits it. First time, he hits it really hard, and Etheridge is not going to save that. And I don't think even the staunchest Cardiff fan would suggest that equaliser wasn't deserved at that point. Deep corner from Marshall. Cooper's in the 6-yard box. He's kind of landing his jump. He's on the decline from his jump. Can't get any power on the header. Morrison, lively again on 44, slips in Romeo, who's actually getting forward for the first time, you'll notice. Didn't have any attacking intent. Hoylett gave him too many problems, but he gets forward. It's a driven low cross. It's a brilliant clearance by Morrison, the Cardiff defender, not Morrison, the Millwall attacker, right on the goal line. And then the next phase, Gregory gets one blocked out and over for a corner. So I think given the start, Millwall did really well to come back into that. The way Warnock would have liked it is for Cardiff to take that early goal and then frustrate and stop Millwall playing. But Millwall don't allow you to do that. Whatever they're going to do on the ball, you know that they're going to push you back. They're going to get that ball forward, and they're really going to make life hard for you, whatever you're doing with the ball. And from about 20-25 minutes, the dynamics switched in Millwall's favour. So well played to them, and really good first half. Really enjoyed that. Second half starts much the same as the first, and Hoylett nearly robs Romeo again, who the man sitting next to me tells me is Jazzy B's son from the late 80s, early 90s hit Back to Life. Was that Soul to Soul? So interesting fact for you there. I hope that's true, else he's just mugged me off well and truly. A good break by Patterson out to Hoylett, crosses into Ralls, and he slips over at the vital time. Didn't look like a chance, but if he stands up on his feet, he had a probably free-ish shot from just inside the penalty area. Grujic is following in, weak drive wide by him. Millwall attack. Morrison puts a poor ball in for once. Marshall keeps it alive the other side. Cuts in, good right foot, takes a deflection actually, and Marshall had a bit of time and he winds up that shot, and Etheridge makes a good save there. Second phase from the corner, great ball, Marshall to Wallace, hooked cross in. Gregory's on the near post, right at the peak of his jump, can't control the header. You'd want Morrison on that one, not Gregory. Medine chests and volleys over. Free kick pumped in by Cardiff. Now you're going to see for this last sort of 20-30 minutes, Cardiff are going to kind of take over and be the better side towards the end of the game. Flicked on, Mendez-Lang's got his back to goal. It won't come down. No power on the volley. If that comes down a millisecond earlier than it did, he's got a really good chance on goal there. So well defended though, I'd say, by the Millwall centre-halves. Cardiff break out to Hoylett, in swinger again, and Mendez-Lang kind of weak header at the back post. Long throw from Millwall now. Wallace is in the drop zone. He takes an early left footer. Good save from Etheridge. It runs loose. Everyone's running in on the ball, and Etheridge gets up and dives on top of it. Cooper takes a yellow for a foul on Patterson. And now we get a kind of period of calm. Well, Warnock and Harris, they both wait and see which guy's going to act first. It's quite surprising, and it's testament to Millwall. Normally, Warnock doesn't care. He's a gambling manager. You always see this from him, and it's testament to Millwall that he was just a little bit conservative and just waited that 5 minutes longer. But he does make the first move. Halford comes in for Grujic, and then straight away Demore comes in for Mendez-Lang, and then Harris. I don't know whether he reacts. He probably was already going to put Anya Dimmer on, but he was just waiting just to check the pattern before he did it. And then Cardiff brings Zahor in for Medine. And then on 82, I'm sure we're going to get comments from the Cardiff fans on this video. Bit of a screwy decision, I'm afraid to say. Cardiff are attacking and Bennett goes down on the edge of the area. Not much time elapses and the ball goes straight through and no one really stops. I didn't hear a whistle. Bamba's battling and he hooks it really well in past Archer in the goal, and the ref pulls it back for a free kick for the earlier offence. Obviously, we know how the rules work. You give advantage to the attacking team. Unless he'd blown that whistle and Archer had stopped, that looked a poor decision. I know the Sky TV cameras were there, so if you've seen the game on TV, you probably would have had a better look at that than me. That didn't look a great decision from Cardiff's point of view there on 82. A corner headed back across for Cardiff. Patterson heads at goal and it's Saville. He doesn't actually stay on the post, but he'd run back and he gets in the clearance. On the line, for all you romantics and narrative lovers, Tim Cahill, 38 years old. He's not going to be putting in midfield at his age. So he waits and waits and waits, Harris. On 89 minutes, puts Cahill in for Gregory and basically says to him, look, try and score me a goal here. And I think he only got a couple of touches and one was handball, but there you go. And Cardiff could have won it 2 minutes into stoppage time and it would have been a horrible goal. Lucky bounce and Patterson's going through. He's on his left foot and it's Meredith coming across from left back, just does enough to put him off, and the side footer goes wide. And I believe that's all she wrote, although there was a handball shout right at the end. It was Patterson again off a long throw, bit of a half-hearted one into the chest, but you know what it's like when you get towards the end of the game. Everybody is shouting for everything. Wow, that was a blood and thunder game, and no disrespect to either team. There wasn't that much free-flowing football played, but it was great. It was, both sides got the ball forward and said, attack against defence here. Let's get our forwards, in Millwall's case, up against the two centre-halves, and in Cardiff's case, let's get our flair players, let's get Hoylett and Mendez-Lang off Medine, and let's get them one-on-one. Like I say, not much played through midfield today. Looking at the game as a whole, it's always hard to judge when there's a really early goal, because you know, you can't say that that's a build-up of pressure, but, you know, you've still got to put it in. So, great start for Cardiff, and then Millwall kind of gradually during the first half managed to come into it and did deserve their equaliser. In the second half, you'd look at it then as Millwall probably better up until the sort of 70-minute period in the substitutions. And then I would suggest if there was going to be a winner at the end, it would have been Cardiff. But pretty fair, I think, for a 1-1. Interesting battles as well. I think Bamba and Morrison were really in a game at the back there against Morrison and Gregory. I would have Bamba up with sort of Flint and Keogh, and good defenders, not necessarily in Bolly's class for Wolves, but one of the more respectable centre-halves in the Championship, and he didn't look like he had a fun time tonight. Up the other end, Hoylett had a good game. He was a real danger. I don't think that booking helped Romeo at the beginning, but Hoylett was definitely the good outlet up there for Cardiff. In terms of star players, I would... a bit one from left field. I thought Meredith had a good game at left back for Millwall. If you notice, Mendes-Lang got substituted. I think he did his defensive work well. He put in a few good balls. He took his quick throw-ins like he was instructed. And then right at the end, he's across there covering for Patterson. I said on Saturday, Morrison is Millwall's most important player. That still remains the same. But kudos to Meredith, I think, today. So I'll give it to him. For Cardiff, it's hard to say anyone other than Hoylett. Obviously, the goal is a big factor in it. But when they were attacking, Mendes-Lang wasn't at it today. I've seen him really have a good game against Ipswich, so I know he can do better than that. But it was Hoylett that was the danger. And when he received the ball, you could hear the Millwall fans kind of, oh, let's hope this doesn't end badly. In terms of both teams, Cardiff will now... They'll be happy to get out of there with the point, I think, and they'll now be trying to push on. They're going to want second place. They're not going to want the playoffs. We know how it works. It's the Warnock system. Solid. Get your flair players on the ball high up the pitch. You know the throw-ins are going in long. You know it's going to be direct. You know the gamesmanship, and you've just got to try and cut through it with your own kind of calmness. Millwall, this is the end of my little 3-game run watching them, and they've been great. They've drawn at home to Derby and Cardiff and won away at Reading. They're a good side in a good moment. Yes, a lot of it is about Morrison and Gregory up front and the rest of the team kind of being functional, but I do think, I've said before, Wallace has got quality, and I think Marshall might be a good addition there. It's just whether they are prepared to take the risk for people like Onyia Dinma, who's a more flair player, over the other midfielders they've got. Really enjoyed the game. I think 1-1 was probably a fair result. Be interested to hear from Cardiff fans. I'm sure you're going to want to tell me about that decision on 82 minutes. You're going to think that's cost you. Millwall fans, let me know your thoughts. Was 1-1 a fair result? Give me a follow on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Please give me a thumbs up. Like I say, give me a comment, agree or disagree. Whatever you think, I'll try and reply and would love to hear from you. So, and give me a subscribe on this channel. And look out tomorrow. I'm off to see Ipswich versus Burton, and hopefully a home win there. I've gone really long, 17 minutes, so I'm going to shut the hell up. Thank you all for watching, and see you soon.